The knock came just as the fire was dying, soft at first. Almost polite, I froze. No one came this far out, no one should. The second knock was louder, desperate. I stood slowly, my fingers tightening around the iron poker resting beside the hearth. The wind outside rattled the cabin walls, carrying the sound of distant thunder across the hills. "Go away," I called, trying to keep my voice steady. Silence answered me. Then, "Please." The voice was weak, strained. "I need help." I closed my eyes for a moment. I had heard that before, and the last time. It nearly cost me everything. "Leave," I said again. Another pause. "I can't," the voice replied. "They'll find me." My grip on the poker tightened. "They?" I asked before I could stop myself. A mistake. A long breath came from the other side of the door. "Please," he said again. "Just one night." The storm cracked overhead, lightning illuminating the thin gaps in the wooden walls. I shouldn't have opened that door, but I did. He stumbled in before I could change my mind. Tall, broad, and bleeding. His shirt was dark with it, his hand pressed tightly against his side as he leaned against the doorframe to keep from collapsing. "Close it," he muttered. I hesitated for half a second, then shut the door. The lock slid into place with a sharp click. He let out a breath like he'd been holding it for miles. "Thank you," he said. I didn't answer. Instead, I kept my distance, the poker still firmly in my hand. "Sit," I said. Nodding toward the chair near the fire, he didn't argue. He barely made it. The firelight revealed more than the shadows had hidden. His face was pale, his jaw clenched tight against the pain, and his eyes, they weren't wild. They were focused, watching everything. "Take off your coat," I said. He raised an eyebrow slightly. "You planning to help me?" he asked. "Or just watch me bleed?" "Depends," I replied. "Are you going to give me a reason not to?" A faint smile flickered across his face. "Fair enough." He shrugged off the coat slowly, wincing as the movement pulled at his wound. I stepped closer then, carefully. The blood wasn't fresh, but it wasn't old either. "You've been riding like this?" I asked. "For a while. That's not smart. It wasn't meant to be." I set the poker aside. That was the second mistake I made that night. Cleaning the wound wasn't easy. He didn't complain, didn't flinch much either. Just sat there, breathing slow and steady, like he had trained himself to ignore pain. "What happened?" I asked. "Wrong place," he said. "Wrong people." He looked at me. Something like that. That wasn't an answer, but it was all he gave. Hours passed. The storm didn't let up, and neither did the tension in the room. "You live out here alone?" he asked eventually. "Yes, why?" I met his gaze. "Because it's safer." He didn't argue with that, which told me he understood more than he was saying. "You got a name?" I asked after a while. He hesitated. Then, "Cole. Just Cole?" "That's enough." I almost smiled. "Not for me," I said. "I like knowing who I'm letting bleed on my floor." That got a real smile out of him. "Cole Turner," he said. I nodded. "Lena." It should have ended there. A stranger helped, a storm passed, and morning sending him on his way. But nothing in the West was ever that simple. The first sign came just before dawn. Horses far off, but coming closer. I heard them before he did. My body stiffened instantly. "They found you," I said quietly. Cole was already moving, slower than before but just as alert. "How many?" he asked. "More than one," he cursed under his breath. "You should go," I said quickly. "Take the back way." "No," the word was firm. "This is my problem," he added. "It's my cabin," I shot back. "That makes it mine too." He looked at me for a long moment, then nodded once. "Then we do this together." The knock didn't come this time. They weren't asking. The door rattled under the force of a boot. "Open up!" a voice shouted. I felt my heart slam against my ribs. Cole stepped in front of me. "Stay behind me," he said. I didn't argue, but I didn't back away either. The door burst open. Cold air rushed in along with three men, armed, hungry. "There he is," one of them said, grinning. Cole didn't move. "You're making this harder than it needs to be," the man added. "Walk away," Cole replied. The man laughed. "That's not how this ends." Everything happened fast after that. Gunfire, shouting, wood splintering. I dropped low, my heart racing, as the cabin filled with smoke and noise. Cole moved like the pain didn't exist, like he had been in this moment 100 times before, by the time it ended. The silence felt unreal. They'll send more, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. Cole didn't deny it. They always do. I looked at him then, really looked. You're not just some man in the wrong place, I said. No. Then what are you? He hesitated, then. A man who made a mistake. I shook my head. That's not the whole truth. No, he admitted. It never is. The sun began to rise slowly, light spilling across the broken doorway. You should leave, I said. Probably. But you won't. He looked at me. No. Silence then. Why? I asked. His answer came quietly. Because they saw you. My breath caught. They'll come back, he continued. For me or for you. The weight of that settled heavily between us. You asked for help, I said slowly. I did. And now? He stepped closer. Now I'm offering it back. 12 Ending Hook Part 2 setup. I had opened my door to a stranger. I thought I was saving him. But now AP wasn't sure which of us needed saving more.